Good Friday. Today we come together so that we might remember the sacrifice that Jesus made of his personal self so that he might take the position of the Christ and take that position for all of humanity. So it's important that we remember heroic actions of one person, but I think it's also important to remember that it is a template for our own transformation. I'm reminded of three phrases that they attribute to Jesus in the final day of his life. And the first one is, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" I don't know how many of us have had that experience of despair that is so grand. It would bring us to the saying something like that. But I think collectively the world is kind of taking a deep sigh of, oh my gosh, how long will this go on? We're recording this before we are put into sheltering in place. And so I'm not really in the feel of it yet. But I have the inkling that by the time we show this, you will be in it. And that there will be a sense of this is a long and arduous journey. But if you come back to the story of Jesus, he leaves what is a fairly safe area for him and goes directly into Jerusalem on the week of Passover. And this is with him knowing that there's a very good chance he'll die in the process. As a matter of fact, it's like he's planning to die. He's planning to die not so that he will be dead or out of despair or out of sadness, but he's planning to die so that he might be transformative as an example of what is possible. So we come to this maybe not quite so willing and ready to suffer, but we're in it. And so the feeling might be at this moment, why have you forsaken me? This is just one of the early stages in the transformational process when you actually feel as though something is being taken from you. Later on, Jesus says the phrase, "I thirst." When he says, "I thirst," he's given a little vinegar and water, but what we're really looking for are the living waters of our future life, of the transformation that we're experiencing, of freedom, of happiness, joy, of being alive again, hanging out with friends. But in general, we thirst for awakening. We thirst to be clear that we are not just bodies and brains, but we are something transcendent. We really want to know that. And if we knew that, then we would approach all of the life suffering quite differently, because we're not going to be just, this is not the end. This is not just, it is not about just the body and the brain. It is about our true nature. And sometimes suffering, sometimes difficulty, certainly our challenges, bring us closer to that, bring us closer to feeling and knowing and experiencing our true nature, because we recognize that we really want it, and there must be more than what we're going through in this life. So we look more deeply, we explore more earnestly, we give ourselves wholeheartedly to it so that we might have it. Which is what Jesus did. He says, "Into thy hands I commit my spirit." When it is over, when all the trouble has brought him to the point of surrender, he says these words. And so it should be for us, that we also say these words, into your hands I commit my spirit. Because when we identify solely with the body and the brain or the mind, and not with the spirit, we don't have the full experience of who we really are. What we have is the earthly part, which quite frankly is very compelling, and we're, by and large, humanity is often ignorant of anything other than that, and it has got us this far, but we are looking for more. And so we commit ourselves through surrender to feeling and knowing and experiencing something move through us that is not just our thoughts, not just our feelings, and not just our bodies. We open to a transcendent experience, So the experience then is one of knowing ourselves as the Christ, which is really what this whole Easter story is about. It's about coming away from humanity toward our divinity. And in so doing, we bring all people with us as we do so. So the work we do in finding our way toward this through surrender and through the commitment of opening to it is not just for us. It is for everyone. And it makes room for everyone to find that path more easily. We can be grateful to Jesus, the hero of the story of Easter. We can be grateful for him plowing through the deep snow to make a path for us. But having made that path, it is ours now to follow. Let us do so with courage, with love, and with acceptance. And may we, in our own way, lift others up in doing the work. I hope you have a great holiday weekend, a great Easter weekend starting today. Let us know ourselves as the Christ ever more fully and be present to the divine in each other in every way we can. May this be your Good Friday.